How's it going, everyone? The OU Council has finally dropped a brand new tiering survey. Last one happened in September, and that was only for the OLT qualifiers. One for the entire community hasn't happened since like June 2024, and since then, there has been a I wouldn't say a ton of changes in the tier, but there has been like four suspect tests. One for gouging fire, where it got banned. Curum, it got banned and then unbanned, and then Gliscor and Palafin. The later two I don't really liked. I feel like okay, Gliscor one was all right. I personally didn't think that Gliscor needed to be suspect tested before other things in the tier, but it was all right. But Palafin, I felt like it was a waste of time. I didn't even get Rex for it. That's just my personal opinion. Anyways, let's jump into this tiering survey and answer all the questions. The first one is how much I enjoy SVOU. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been enjoying it lately. It's like it was really fun when during mid 2024 when Gouging Fire got banned and then Curum got banned. I felt like progress was being made by the tier, but then where I was like after Curum got unbanned and then it was all right for a while, but now it just got redundant to a point where like yeah, there's just these Pokemon that are still extremely annoying and broken are still in the tier, and you are kind of just trying to adapt with them, but it doesn't make you can adapt to them, but it doesn't make the tier better. Right, even if time passes. So yeah, after playing SVU for a year straight, I feel like I haven't been enjoying it as much. So I would put this at 7. I still like the tier. I just want to see it like become better so that it's more enjoyable. But how competitive do I find SVU to be right now? I would put this at 8. I think through all this time, like the meta has evolved a lot. It has adapted a lot. New trends have popped out. Like Tinkaton got popular. Pechorant is on boom right now. Like every hazard stack or every bulky offense team is literally learning Pechorant. So Sinistra, Okidogi, all these Pokemon, low kicks especially. So all these Pokemon have seen a lot of screen time, and yes, the variety has improved, but the problem is that Zamazenta is still sweeping the teams. Now, I'm not saying that Zamazenta is broken. Zamazenta is a really good Pokemon in the tier, so yeah, it would do its job, but it's like the same teams are kind of just getting repeated and repeated and repeated in high level competition, and some archetypes are just dead. You see bulky offense and hazard stack is in my opinion the best archetype to play in Gen 9 OU, and offense doesn't see that much that much screen time. Stall doesn't see that much screen time. So yeah, I would put this as 7. I think it's the same. In my opinion, it could be better. There's a lot of potential to become better. How do you feel about King Gambit? Too. I don't think it should be in the list when there are other things that needs to be looked on. But yeah, it's still a Pokemon. The trend, right? King Gambit reverse sweep. So yeah, it still exists, but it has been toned down a lot by the meta development. Curum, get that thing out of the tier. It's so painful to see that Curum came back and is just sitting in the tier and you can't do anything about it. It has already seen 2 suspect tests. Should have been banned during the first suspect test, but yeah, it got banned to second, got unbanned because of this the cheating during the suspect test, and this is the root. This Pokemon is definitely the root of the problems in the tier for sure. Ogerpon, I think this Pokemon is still annoying. People have adapted to it. But yeah, like if it has the perfect moveset against you, you cannot do anything about it. But just because Curum is more problematic, I would put this at a 4. I guess I shouldn't see it that way. But yeah, like comparably, I think Ogerpon is not a 5. It is a 4. Zamazenta, I think that's 2. It's the same thing as King Gambit. I would admit my opinion has changed about Zamazenta, because I used to think that thing's broken and should be banned, but lately, it's still doing its job. It's still like at the top of the tier, but it just doesn't feel as uh, oppressing as it used to. And people have just adapted to it, and it has worked out for the Pokemon, in my opinion. It has its place in the tier. It's a really good Pokemon for the tier 2. It's like a necessary evil, but it's not uh, above the line of brokenness. Then comes Raging Bolt. I don't know why this Pokemon is even on the list. Like, if some of you out there think that Raging Bolt is broken, I mean, I think you guys just need to play the tier more. If you think Raging Bolt is a problem for the tier, I think you're not playing it enough. Load up some games, do laddering, and you'll find out. And you'll change your opinion about Raging Bolt. It's a 1. Gliscor, the player base is 50-50. I personally stand on the not broken side, because I don't think Gliscor is that. I mean, it's an annoying Pokemon. That's the nature of Gliscor as a Pokemon. It's extremely annoying, but I don't think it's breaking the game, and I don't think it makes the tier unplayable because this Pokemon exists. So I would give it as a 3, maybe potentially ban worthy, but I'm not so sure about it. Terrablast, I would give this thing a 5. This is the one thing I want to see action on the most in the tier, because it would change the meta entirely, and it would definitely make the tier better. Because at the beginning, or not even the beginning, like you could say 6 months, like 6 months ago or 8 months ago, right? At the start of 2024, Terrablast was a thing that was only for Pokemon who don't have coverage, who want to use that coverage to check some counters like Iron Moth. It needs Terrablast ground so it can beat Heatran or Garganacl or Slowking Galar, right? But ever since then, uh, people have realized how good or how OP Terrablast as a mechanic is, as a move is, that they're just been slapping it on any Pokemon that just needs any type of coverage. Like, you're seeing Terrablast ground Valiants, you're seeing Terrablast ground Darkrai's, Terrablast Fairy Darkrai's, Terrablast fighting Goldengos, Terrablast fighting Darkrai's. Gouging Fire and Kyurem are obviously the biggest Pokemon that were talked about when the Suspectus happened. Gouging Fire got banned, but Kyurem is still there and it can use a million Terra types and Terra Blast. Then Dragonite, like before it was just like, okay, DD sats, Encore, Fire Punch, Scale Shower, but now it's just like, oh, it's gonna Terra Fairy, Terra Blast you, it's gonna Terra Flying, Terra Blast you. Iron Moth has been lately not using Terra Ground, instead it's running Terra Blast Ghost because it gives you spin blocking abilities, it gives you a counter to Slowking, it gives you a counter to Dragapult, it makes you immune to extreme speed, and it's just a better coverage towards other Pokemon it needs to check, like Heatran. You can damage Heatran with Terra Blast Ghost, it's a neutral move. So there's just so many Pokemon that are just utilizing Terra Blast, and there's no drawback for using Terra Blast on any Pokemon in my opinion, and that makes the game unplayable, the tier unplayable. That's just my opinion. So yeah, if they're gonna take some action, do some suspect test in the near future, then I would want Terra Blast to be the number 1 suspect test that happens after this tiering survey. Then comes, is there anything else not already mentioned you would like to see the council do? I don't think they mentioned Darkrai, did they? No. I would admit Darkrai hasn't felt that oppressing lately for the tier, but I still consider it at the top of the chopping block. I still think it needs to be looked into, so I would mention Darkrai here because it is a top dog. Its coverage is amazing, its offensive stats are incredible, it is an incredible user of Terra, so it fits on every archetype aside from like a hard stall. So yeah, Darkrai should get looked into. Did you play at least SV1 SVOU game during SCL or SPL? I did not, unfortunately. SVOU circuit playoffs, I couldn't qualify, unfortunately. I had a chance, but I lost in the last chance qualifiers. Did you get voting requirements for Gliscor or Palafin? I actually didn't. I couldn't get the Gliscor one because I didn't have time to play, and then Palafin one, I just wasn't feeling it at all. So yeah, I feel like, nah, I don't want to put effort into Palafin. is that felt like really a waste of time to me. Are you top 250 on the SVU OU ladder? I am not right now. I could get to top 250 easily if I just play a couple of games right now. But I don't know if this will change, like this pace pin. As you can see, I don't know if like my name is just gonna pop here if I just get to 250 right now. Uh, so I am not currently. Maybe I'll check this out later, right? I'll submit the paste after getting to 250 and see if my name pops up in the list. So I'll mention my ad. For now, I'm not in top 250. I haven't been playing the tier. I will start to play the tier because ton of tournaments have begun. But yeah, these are my thoughts on the Pokemon or on the tier overall. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.